y'all. So before I start, I just wanted to come to y'all and let y'all know that I am very apologetic for the inconsistency that I've had with y'all. It was very much not intentional, and I'm so sorry. And I'm so grateful for the support that I got even through that. Y'all will understand why I disappeared and what was going on with me during that time where I was slacking in getting content to y'all during this episode. I really hope y'all enjoy it. And again, I'm so sorry, but I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate the support, the love, the likes, the shares, the everything. I really, really deeply support it. Um, so yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the episode and see y'all next time. Bye. So in this episode today, I will be talking to y'all about the reality of beginning and rewinding. Beginning as in starting something new, and rewinding as in starting something over. Um, I feel like this is a very important topic because as we grow and as we get older, there are things that we may think to start new that we might have anxious feelings about, and we might be scared to start, and there might be things where we have to start over. So I just want to talk to y'all about this, and it goes into why I disappeared on y'all. So yeah, and the change can be big or small, and what you're starting over or starting new doesn't have to be this big hurrah. It can be the smallest thing, but if it's important to you, then it's big. It could be as small as starting a new job, and starting a new job in a career path that you've never tried before. For example, I started fast food new back in COVID 2020. I had never worked fast food in my life, ever. I had been strictly a retail girl. But life circumstances happened, COVID happened, they shut my job down. Boom, I had to go to a new job. I've been at Sonic managing for 3 years. Um, that was something new and it was scary, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. How I feel about it now, a different story. But it has had its perks and it has had its benefits. And the end goal was not as bad and scary as I thought it was in the beginning. You can be starting a new relationship. You can be starting over trying to love from a past terrible relationship. Um, you could be starting a new school, starting a new journey in life. Maybe you're starting a new major. Ding, ding, ding. I'm going to come back to that later. Um, no matter how small it is, that change and that feeling and that anxiety of starting something new and not knowing what to expect or not knowing how you're going to feel, it's scary. But I promise you can get through it. I promise. And your girl's here to help, always. So, I told y'all that I was going to come on here and talk to y'all about where I've been. I disappeared on y'all. And once again, I am so sorry. That fear of the new changes and the starting something new that I was telling y'all about, yeah, that's been me for the past 3 to 4 months. As a lot of y'all may know, I transferred from Parkland to Southern Illinois University back in August of 2022. I hadn't finished Parkland before I transferred, but I was ready for something new. I was tired of being at home, every at home college student's nightmare. I was tired of being at home. I wanted to change. I was ready to go. So what did I do? I applied to some colleges. I got accepted to some, declined from some. I chose the best option at the time. I had the support and I left. Now, I was scared and I had anxiety and I was fearful of what was to come, but I was also very excited as to what could possibly withhold me at this country bumpkin town called Carbondale. As soon as I got to Carbondale, I promise y'all the that anxiety turned into so much fun for the first week, and then classes started and I declined terribly mentally. That change was something drastic. It was more drastic than I thought it would be. I got hit with homesickness very quickly. Um, the area, I've realized that the area that I was in, the town, the environment lacked so much of what I had back at home when it came to hobbies and resources and things that I could places I could go to clear my head when I felt like, you know, life was tearing me apart. the environment that I was in lacked that so much that I had no outlet. I had no way to clear my head when I felt like things were getting bad. And I fell into a very, very deep depression my first semester there. It was bad. I'm going to be honest. My grades, they weren't the best the first semester. They weren't up to the ability that I know that I can do. I'm a very intelligent woman, a very, intellect. I really do like school. But the the depression I had and the mental load that I was going through was so much to handle on my own that it started to show in other things. It started to show in my attitude and my personality. It started to show in my work. It started to show in my effort. Um, it wasn't really, that anticipation, you know, that anxiety, that anxiousness that I had to leave. It slapped me in my face. And it's as simple as that. It slapped me in my face. um, I started something new. I took a leap of faith to go and leave home, and it backfired on me just a little bit, just a little bit. But it also brought some benefits. I won't lie. I met some amazing people while I was there. Friends that I now want to keep in my life forever. I made some great memories. If you know, you know. Thirsty Thursdays, the bomb. I made some great memories. I had fun. In second semester, I joined and was inducted into the National Associations of Color Women's Club, Women of Actions chapter, Dynamic 11, my line sisters. I love y'all. I became vice president of that org. I became social media chair for my Africana Theater Lab. I had a good time while I was there, but it didn't take away from the fact that in the end, in the back of my mind, I knew that when I went back to my dorm room at night by myself, that the environment I was in was tearing me down and I needed change. Um, that was me trying something new, and it didn't work. It didn't work like I thought it would. And at that point in time, once second semester hit and it was time to come back home for the summer, it was time for me to take another, leap of faith. And, I started thinking of new things to do. Um, while at Parkland and while at SIU, I was studying social work. I had known that I wanted to be a social worker, a child welfare social worker specifically, since my sophomore year of high school. It always was something that I really wanted to do, helping kids, having a passion to make sure that kids are placed into good homes and that they have the opportunity to have a good life. Um, that's something I always wanted to do. If you can tell, I'm saying wanted because um, the last, I'd say, maybe in between March to May, um, I had a change, and when I started to realize that Carbondale SIU wasn't the place for me, I also started to feel like my major wasn't the place for me either. I started to feel misplaced. I started to feel like that wasn't what I wanted to do. I started to feel like I was settling. And one thing about me is I will not settle. Settling is not something I want to do, no matter what it pertains to. So to feel like I was settling with my major and it's something that I had had in my mind that I wanted to do for so long, it was another mental battle. It was like, well, if I don't want to do this, then what do I want to do? And I didn't have an answer to that at first. And that was so hard because it was like, I could be practical and I could keep this major and I could work hard and I can get my master's degree in social work and I can get my bachelor's degree in social work and I can be this practicing social worker and I can have this career. But it was always something in the back of my head like, I can do that. But is that what you want to do? Is there something else in life that you can do that I could be doing that could be fulfilling me better and in so many other ways? A better passion, And that was really hard on me because it was like, well, that would be starting something new. If I changed my major, it would be now again starting something new. And like I just learned the last time I started something new, it didn't really work. So it was like, is it worth it? is it worth the risk? And, you know, after talking to some friends, and talking to myself and getting insight from others and the people that support me and the people that love me and vice versa, I decided that I was going to take that leap of faith, and I decided that I was going to change my major. And I decided that in order to do that and be able to be grounded in that and fulfilling that, I had to start over. And starting over meant coming home, back to Champaign, going back to Parkland to get some credits in that new said major, and going to a whole nother 4 year after obtaining my associate's degree from Parkland in 1 year. So not only would I be starting a new major, starting something new once again, I would also be starting over. And starting over was something that also weighed on my mind, because it was like, dang, if I'm starting over, if I have to go all the way back to quote unquote square one, as I believed it was at the time, what was all of this for? What was all of the application fees and the late nights and the studying and the putting my all into this major? If I have to start over and start something new and go back to square one, go back to what I wanted to get out of for so long, I'm coming back home. I didn't want to be here. That's why I left. Um, I wanted that freedom. I wanted that adult responsibility. So it's like, if I'm starting over back to that point, what was all of that for? Um, and that was something that was it. I promise y'all, it was like tug of war. It was like tug of war with my heart, doing something that I was passionate about and doing something that I feel like would make me so much more happy. And then tug of war on the other side with my brain. Like, is this what you really want to do? Is it worth it? You're starting over. You failed. It was bad. And it took a lot of it took a lot of everything. It took a lot of praying. It took a lot of tears. It took a lot of mental control. It took a lot of thought, a lot of outlining, it took a lot for me to really decide if I should go with practicality or go out of the box and be happy. And after weighing on that option, by the time May hit and school was out and it was time to come home, I had made my choice, and I chose to not be practical, jump out of the box, change my major, come home, start over. And that's where I am now. I'm back home. Um, my major has now changed from social work to communications. My career path has changed. Um, my goals in life have shifted a little bit, but it's crazy because now that that's happened, I feel better. I feel so much more happy in that part of life when you're in college and you're thinking about careers and where you're going to go after these degrees and this schooling. I feel like a burden of weight I had on my shoulders at the point in time where I was stuck between being practical in my mind and my heart in that tug of war. I feel like as light as a feather in that aspect. I feel happier. It's been easier to outline what I want to do. I don't feel I don't feel like this is something that I might regret or not want to do. And it's gonna take work. Everything takes work, but that's starting over and that's starting something new in this aspect has really helped me. And I really feel like it's going to benefit me to be back home. I get to get back in my hobbies. I'm in a better environment than I was when I was gone. Um, yeah, I'm going to miss some things in Carbondale, specifically some of my friends, but we grown. I can see them. I can see them all the time. Well, not all the time because they Chicago people. My Carbondale friends, Chicago people. But it ain't nothing to ride a train. But I feel so much better. And I feel like I'm able to, how my mind was so scrambled for the past year. And I was slacking on talking to y'all, and I was slacking on having a spirituality schedule, and I was slacking. I wanted to do all these things, but I just felt like I lost so much time in a day. I now feel like I have that time back, and I'm able to plan things better, and I'm able to get on a schedule with y'all because I be missing y'all. Y'all don't understand. Y'all are an outlet for me, whether y'all know it or not. Yeah, I just feel really better with my decision to start over and start something new. Um, and I feel like y'all should know that because this is me really being real and raw with y'all. Like seriously, like I could go into so much more detail, but this has been my life and my mental state, and this is what's been happening to me for the past year. Life has been life, and it's torn me down, and I've had to build myself back up with the help of the ones that I love, of course. But in the mix of all of that, I lost touch with um some things, and I just really felt like it was time for it was time to start over, and it was time to start something new. And I know future me will thank me for this, and present me thanks me for this. And you know, I just wanted to let y'all know that um if anyone is going through something where no matter how big or small, where you feel like you're afraid to start over, or you're afraid to start something new and take that leap and make, don't be afraid. Even if you do it and it doesn't work, don't be afraid. Do it again. Try again. Think of better ideas. Think of better ways. Think of how to make it better. Don't let yourself be stuck in a situation that does not make you truly happy. If you know that there is something else that might, and you might not know what that is at the time, and that's okay. You just sit on it and you ponder it and you think about it. You pull things out of a hat if you have to, but you don't sit and you don't allow yourself to be unhappy, and you don't allow yourself to drown just because you're scared to make something and do something else. You're scared to make a change. You're scared to start over. You're scared to be new. Don't let that make you, because I did it. And coming from me, coming from someone who in one school year um, started over, started something new, took a leap of faith, fell flat on her face, but was still able to get back up and revive that passion and revive that strength, and still manage to, bring alive something that's going to benefit her and something that really, really makes her happy, even though she was terrified, even though she was scared, even though she beat herself up about it and, felt like a failure at times because of it. Even though that happened, and even though that's how I fell flat on my face, but I promise y'all when I did it again, I got back up. I'm up, you know. And you can do it too. You can do it. You can be up right away, or you can do it and you can fall on your face like me, and you can still find that strength and you can get right back up. And it won't be, depending on what it is, it might not be easy, but that's okay. Life isn't easy, but you have to have faith within yourself. You have to not be your biggest hater, and you have to constantly remind yourself that future me will thank me for this. It will pay off. In the future, I'm going to look back on this and I'm going to be like, I'm glad I did this. I don't want to look in the future and be like, I regret that I didn't try that. I wish I would have done that. There is no I wish I would have. There's only I did this. This benefited me. I'm happy. And and even if you decide to not take that change or not take that leap, that's okay. As long as you know that in the end you're happy, that's all that matters. But don't let fear of falling flat on your face stop you from making that change, because I promise you, I did. I fell flat on my face. My butt did a roll around, tumbled, and still was able to get back up. And now I'm standing. And you always still have climbing to do, and you always still have growing to do. And I do so have growing and climbing to do. I will never deny it. But I'm up, and I'm so happy that in those few months I decided to start over and I decided to make this change, because future me will thank me for this, because present me is thanking me for this. I am now looking back on how I was up and down in a spiral that entire year at Southern Illinois University, and I'm like, dang, I'm so glad that I chose to save me. I'm so glad I chose to start over. Um so yeah, I'm only here to tell y'all the truth. I'm only here to be real with y'all. And I hope that y'all take my story and what I just told y'all. And if y'all are going through anything like that, you listen to me when I say Take the leap, make the change, benefit yourself. I promise it's worth it. I promise. So, yeah, that's where I've been. That's what I've been going through. But I'm back. I'm back. Your girl's back. Your girl's consistent. Your girl got a schedule for y'all. I got some new things for y'all. I'm going to try some new things with y'all. And I hope y'all like them. I hope y'all mess with them. But, yeah, I owed it to y'all to let y'all know where I've been and why I ran off on y'all. But yeah, I really hope that y'all like this and that y'all enjoyed it. And I thank y'all for listening. I thank y'all for supporting me. And I really, really, really thank y'all for being here and allowing me to voice myself to y'all. And y'all be an outlet for me and I be an outlet for y'all. So that is all for this episode. If you take anything from me today, if you take anything from this girl just running her mouth, take benefit you. Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to start something new. Don't be afraid to do what is going to make you happy. So, I hope everybody has a good day. Talk to y'all next time. Bye.